I feel like if I go and I talk to people about local issues, I find that they'll get heated just the same way they would get heated about a state or national issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you're seeing the tensions that we're having more broadly affect us in a very microcosmic communal way. And like, I mean, do you find yourself, you know, meeting with people that are freaking out and then you have to talk them off a ledge and say, whoa, hold on, I think you're misunderstanding what we're saying here because it is only one part of the argument?
Well, I don't have people freaking out. People come to me and they bring an issue. And I feel like my job is to really help educate folks, to help them understand more of what's going on around that issue so that they can maybe relax a bit, you know, because I think there's an awful lot of hyperbole in our discourse and it doesn't help, you know.
Yeah.
I think we're all in this community together. We all want to feel safe, secure, comfortable here, right? We all want that.
Right.
But we get scared. People get scared. And if you feel like you're going to lose something of value, something that's been, you've held dear, and if you feel like people are not listening to you and you're not being heard, then what happens is you dig in and you take a very strong position and you do the thing to people that is being done to you, which is you stop listening and then nobody's being heard. And so what I'm really interested in is helping all of us be heard, right? How do we create an environment? How do we create a community where people really do listen with an open heart, with an open mind, with the willingness to put ourselves into the shoes of the person sitting across from us, to really hear what's going on in their life, in their story? Because we all have stories, right? I always love, you know, people look at you, right? People will look at you, they'll look at me. They'll form an opinion. They'll write a story about us, right?
Sure,
You've got long hair. You dress like this. You look like you're like right. You look like you're all put together.
That was something I thought about going into this. I was like, oh man, I'm looking really unkempt, and this is going to be.
But people make judgments. They write stories, right? So, but that's one little bit, right? You're today, me today, one little bit of our whole story. And if you knew my story, you'd know that I come from a blue-collar family. My mom was alcoholic. I raised my brothers and sisters. I didn't finish college for 30 years. At night I finished, right? I've struggled. I've been married and divorced many times. Like there's a whole background with people. And what someone brings to you in a conversation is just this little tip of the iceberg, right? I'm seeing this piece of you. That's all you're giving me. But if I take the time to get to know you, to really understand your story, to understand why you're afraid, what's really going on. If I even just take a few minutes to ask you a good question about, tell me more about that. Tell me what's going on behind you're being angry with this, about this right now. Like if I'm willing to be human with you and you with me, then I think we have a possibility of creating the kind of community we want. It's really easy to be angry. It's really easy to be polarized. It's very easy to be caught up in rhetoric. What's hard is seeing the real person across the table from you, right? That's the hardest part. And acknowledging that we have something in common, right?
Right.
So finding it. Find the thing that we have in common, build from that. And so that as a leader, for me, is the most important work.